Hello music students, my name is Chris Williams. I'm an independent piano/music teacher, performer, and songwriter based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I created this video as an introduction to triads, which are basic chords and the building blocks for every song you've ever heard. They're also the starting point for more complex chords, but certainly the first chords that you want to learn how to play. For the purpose of this exercise and playing piano in general, we refer to our thumb as number 1, index finger number 2, middle finger number 3, ring finger number 4, and your pinky is number 5. All right, let me teach you about triads. A triad is a musical chord, and a chord is a minimum of 3 notes, either played all together, known as a solid or blocked form, or as a broken form, also known as an arpeggio. A triad is a chord consisting of 3 notes: the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, and the 5th note of the scale. You are looking at C major scale. The first note, which is also called the root or the tonic, is C. The third note of the scale is E, and the 5th note of the scale is G. These are the 3 notes that make up a C major triad, also known as a C major chord. Because there are 3 notes in this chord, there are 3 different ways to organize those notes. This organization of the notes is called root position because the name of the key is the note on the bottom, in this case, C. Now I will rearrange the notes so the bottom note is now the top note. This is called the first inversion of the root position. It's the same chord because it has the same notes in it, C, E, and G. They're just in a different order than the root position. If I rearrange the notes again and take the bottom note and put it on top, now we have the second inversion of the root position. These are the 3 different ways to organize those notes. The different arrangements are also called voicings. Here is the best way to play and practice these voicings. Start with your right hand in root position playing C, E, and G using your 1st, 3rd, and 5th fingers. Now we will play the same notes in the first inversion of the root position by putting the bottom note, C, on top. Same 3 notes, C, E, and G. Please note that we are using the 1st, 2nd, and 5th fingers. This is the only inversion or voicing of the triad where we use our 2nd finger, not the 3rd. The fingering is very important because all triads use the same fingering, and your hands and fingers will develop muscle memory which will help you play all triads more efficiently and accurately. Now we can create the 2nd inversion of the chord by putting the bottom note, E, on top. Playing them with 1, 3, and 5, and repeat that process one more time. You take the bottom note, G in this case, and put it on top. And now we're back into root position, 1 octave higher than where we started. Now we're going to go down, descending the pattern. We take the top note and we put it on the bottom. 1, 3, and 5, that's the 2nd inversion. To get to the 1st inversion, we take the top note and put it on the bottom. There's our 1st inversion using 1, 2, and 5. And then to get back down to root position, we take the top note and we put it on the bottom using 1, 3, and 5. This formation is called solid form because we are playing all the notes together, and this is how it should look and sound after you've practiced it for a bit. Don't be so concerned about your speed. Accuracy is much more important, and speed will come by practicing regularly. Try and make sure that all 3 notes go down at the same time, and you don't get this kind of thing. You want to make sure that all 3 notes go down at the same time. You should also practice these with your left hand. And here's what it looks like when written in the bass clef. It's the same 3 notes and process as what we just did with the right hand in the treble clef, but the fingering is a little different. Start with root position with 5-3-1. And for the first inversion, we use the same notes. We put the bottom note on top and use 5-3-1. And then for the second inversion, we take the same three notes, put the bottom one on top. Now we use 5-2-1. This is the inversion with the left hand, where we use our second finger, not the third. And then we'll use the same three notes, put the bottom one on top, and we're back to root position. Incidentally, these notes look like this if written in the treble clef. You used your right hand to play them in root position here. This time we're using our left hand to play them in root position. Same three notes. This C and this C are the very same middle C. This E and this E are the same E. And this G and this G are the same G. It's just these notes are written in the bass clef. These notes are written in the treble clef. Continuing with our exercise, we descend using the same fingering as ascending. So, root position 1, 3, and 5. Second inversion 1, 2, and 5. First inversion 1, 3, and 5. And root position 1, 3, and 5. Practice the inversions ascending and descending, just like we did with the right hand. Remember, this is called the solid form because all three notes are played together. And remember that accuracy is more important than speed. Speed will come naturally with practice, but the practice must be accurate. So go as slow as you need to, making sure you're playing the correct notes with the correct fingers. You should also practice the triads in the broken form. The inversions and fingering are exactly the same as the solid form, and the exercise is the same notes and process as the solid form, but the notes are played individually as triplet eighth notes like this. Now in the broken form, we repeat the top root position to start the descending pattern. And with some practice, you want it to sound something like this. And here's the triad broken with the left hand. 5-3-1 in root position. 5-3-1, first inversion, 5-2-1 in the second inversion, and 5-3-1 in root position. Repeat the root position, but descending, 1-3-5. Second inversion is 1-2-5. First inversion, 1-3-5. And root position, 1-3-5. And again, with some practice, you want it to sound something like this. Once you are confident playing the triads solid and broken 1 octave, practice the triads 2 octaves. The second octave is exactly the same as the first, just higher on the piano. And once you're comfortable doing that with both hands, try putting your hands together. And so that's what triads are and the best way to practice them. Whatever style of music you play or want to play, triads are the building blocks, and learning them is essential. Depending on your goals, you will be learning and practicing triads in different keys, and to do that, you will need to know the key signatures for those keys. If you are not aware of what key signatures are, please watch my video on major key signatures and then watch my video on minor key signatures. With that knowledge, you'll be able to determine the 3 notes in any triad in any key. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I helped. Please subscribe to my channel if you have already. I thank you.